welcome back to my channel. My name is Lily. If you're new here, I'm the person behind Crafts and Crumbs, and if you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. So it has been a few weeks since I posted a video, and I do apologize for that. I was moving, and then I was finishing up my fieldwork training, and now I'm in my exam period. So just kind of one thing flowed into the next, and I didn't have a lot of time for any kind of creative outlet, which I have missed dearly. I've only had time for reading on my commute, which I've very much enjoyed, and I've been reading a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to my next video where I'll talk about my books. But that is not this video, as I'm sure you can tell by the title. This video is going to be a sewing video, which I am so excited about because I have a lot to do. I am flying to Italy with my mom in a few weeks, and I am determined to sew a few clothes for the trip and also just in general to have. And I'm so excited about it because I feel like I'm at the place now where I can make actual clothes that I can actually wear, and I've kind of figured out a few things. So I'm really excited to get a bunch of fabrics and a bunch of patterns and just kind of get cooking. I have also dabbled in self-drafting some tops. I recently posted a short of me sewing a self-drafted top. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box below if you're interested. It has really cute slits on the side. I do want to perfect it a little bit more. I feel like the front is a tad boxy, but I really like the idea of it, so I definitely want to keep going with that. So that pattern might be making an appearance in this video, as well as a bunch of other patterns which I'll talk about, and of course will all be linked down below. So without further ado, let's talk about all the fabrics that I bought, and then we can get sewing. So here are all the fabrics that I got. I got a bunch of fabrics that I'm so excited about. I feel really inspired by these fabrics, and I'm just really excited to work on them. So I will preface this by saying that I buy only natural fibers. All of these are linens or linen blends. I feel really strongly about that, especially if I'm making my own clothes. I definitely want to steer away from anything polyester, anything plastic, just to be really easy. I just want the clothes that I wear, especially the clothes that I make, to be really comfortable and have a lot of room to breathe, especially because it is very hot where I am. It is summer, and it is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit almost every day, which is about 40 degrees Celsius. So I am not loving that. So it is very hot. So I definitely need as cooling clothes as possible and leaving the house as little as possible, which is fine by me because then I have more time for sewing. But when I do have to venture out, I want to be as cool as possible. So all of these are linens or linen blends and all those kinds of things. So it'll be really nice and airy and cool. So there's like a whole row of amazing fabric stores in a city that I love near me. And I always go to buy my fabrics. They're really cheap, or at least I feel like they're really cheap most of the places. Some places can be super expensive, of course, but most of them can be really cheap. So that's really great. So I got two fabrics that were relatively cheap, and I got one fabric from one of the fancier stores that I went into, and they have amazing fabrics that they ship in from Europe, from London and Italy and things like that. I don't feel very comfortable yet with my sewing skills enough to justify buying really expensive fabrics because I don't want to mess it up and then feel like I wasted the money, especially when there are much cheaper options. So I usually go for those, but I did feel comfortable enough to buy one piece of fabric from there. So that is what I did. And that is this gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. So this is a linen blend, and I absolutely love it. It is so, so soft, and it has this beautifully intricate flower pattern on it that's kind of like a drawing, and I absolutely love it. This is something that I really wanted. I wanted some kind of big floral pattern on a fabric because I'm going to make pants with these. I'm going to make pants with most of these because I feel like I don't have a lot of pants. I actually have one pair of shorts. So I really need shorts as well. So I'm going to be making pants and shorts. And the main pattern that I'm going to be using for all my pants and shorts are going to be the Pomona pants. There are lots of people who made this pattern. It is so great. I actually made my first successful pair of pants with this pattern, which I absolutely love. They turned out really almost perfect. The only problem that I had was with the kind of drawstring part at the top. So I added in the elastic, but it just didn't fold in the front in the good way that it did in the back. So it looks a little wonky. So I'm really excited to try the pattern again with these other fabrics and hopefully get the elastic better. It's not terrible. I definitely think that it's wearable, especially with this top because it kind of covers the top of the pants. So it works. But I do want to make sure that the other pants will be as good as possible in these next fabrics. So this fabric I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I'm going to make the long version of the pants in them. So exactly like the pants that I'm wearing now, I'm going to make just in this pattern. And the base color of this fabric is almost the same as the kind of color that I'm wearing now, just that it has this drawing of flowers on top of it, so you kind of can't tell. I think that with black tops or even other color tops, it could look so cool, and I'm really excited to work with this pattern. So this pattern was a little bit more expensive, but I decided to splurge and I got him to lower the price a little bit, so that's okay. So this fabric, I got about 1.5 meters on 1.5 meters, so it's kind of like a square, but I did also bring a fabric cutout that I made of the pattern that I have to measure it to make sure that it'll fit, which I'm really glad that I did. I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but if you haven't done that, you totally should if you have something specific in mind, because I wanted to make sure that I got the right amount of fabric, and not just by the fabric suggestions, but I wanted to make sure that the way that I did it would work as well. So I got 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters of this fabric, which ended up being, I think, around like $30, something like that. So it is definitely more expensive than other fabrics that I've bought, but I don't think that it's really that expensive. And this whole trip cost me around $45 to $50, and this being the most expensive. So I did feel pretty comfortable about that. So that is the first fabric that I'm so excited to make pants out of. It is not going to be the first fabric that I make pants out of in this bunch, because I want to make sure that I have the pattern really down before I use the fancy fabric. So this will have to wait. The second fabric that I bought is also 100% linen, and I absolutely love it. I'll show you guys up close, but it is this gorgeous kind of striped pattern. I really wanted some stripes or plaid or something like that, but small stripes. I didn't want like really big chunky ones. I feel like those can look kind of clownish. So this is a kind of red, white, and blue striped fabric. I did buy enough of all the fabrics to make the long pants, but I do think that I'm going to make shorts out of these because I think they're going to be really, really cute. So I'm going to be making the Pomona pants, but in the shorts version, and it'll have an elastic on top, and I think it could look really cute with white tops, with black tops, with lots of tops that I have in my wardrobe, which is always the goal because I really don't want to buy a lot of stuff. Or I can also make more clothes and wear the clothes that I made with these pants. So that is definitely the goal. So I absolutely love this one. This was very cheap. I ended up buying 2 meters by 1.5 meters of this fabric, and I think it cost me like $8 to $10. So it was very cheap, and I'm very pleased with it. So I'm very excited to make pants with these. If I do make the shorts, I will have enough fabric to make a top too. So we'll see, because I definitely think I want to make the shorts with these. We'll see what top I want to make. I don't think I'd want to make the self-drafted top that I did with this fabric, just because it's kind of like a boat neck top, and I think that would just be kind of a lot going on as a closed top. But maybe I'll make some kind of vest with it, and that could also be very cute. So we shall see. And the last fabric that I bought, I actually bought a ton of. It is this beautiful kind of blush antique pink color. I love it. I really wanted to get kind of like a burnt orange or dark red or kind of something like that. That would be really, really cool. This is also a linen blend, and I ended up buying this beautiful blush pink. I didn't find the kind of orange that I wanted. They only had like a bright orange, and I didn't really want that. So this antique pink is so beautiful, and it really caught my eye. The width of this is 3 meters, so it is really big, and I ended up getting 1.5 meters by 3 meters because that was the width that they had. So I have a ton of this fabric. So I am planning for it to be long Pomona pants, and I will, of course, definitely have enough for at least another project, if not 2, if not 3. So maybe I'll also make a dress with this, because I think that this as a dress could be so, so pretty, this color. So these will definitely be Pomona pants. I do think that I want to make the self-drafted top that I made with this fabric as well. I do hope that I can tweak the pattern a little bit, and maybe I need to round the edges or something like that, because it felt just a little boxy in the front. So we'll see about that. But that will definitely be pants, a top, maybe a dress if there isn't enough fabric. So I will definitely want to do that. So those are the 3 fabrics that I bought, and I'm so excited to start sewing. So let's stop yapping and start sewing. Hello, Hello, I am here for a mid-project update, and I'm so excited to tell you guys that I'm almost done with the pants. It went by so fast. I think I've been working on the pants for like an hour now since I started cutting up the fabrics, and it's been going really well. I've already done this pattern before, so I really know how to do it, and it's pretty easy at this point. You really just connect the front seam, connect the back seam, then connect the legs all the way through in one stretch so that they just look good and cohesive, and that's where I am now. What's left to do is really only the elastic waistband and then the hem on the bottom of the pants, which the hem is the part that has given me problem before, not because of the pattern, but because I don't really know how to do elastic waistbands, or at least I didn't before I tried this pattern. So I do it in a different technique than most, I think. I think the regular one is where you do the hole and then thread it through. I hated that. I couldn't do it. It kept falling off the safety pin and it just did not work for me. So I'm not doing that. I do a different technique. So I'll be sure to show you guys while I do it and explain while I do, because it was really helpful to me to learn how to do that, and maybe it'll help you guys as well. So I really want the elastic part to look really good, because in the previous pants that I made, they didn't look great. The front kind of got all wonky and weird. The back looks really good, so I do know that it's possible, so I definitely want to try to make it really good this time so that I can wear tank tops and have like the top front look really good and the elastic kind of bring it all together. It definitely looks a little bit crazy right now because the top is super, super long because you fold it over twice with the elastic waistband, and the bottom is super long because you hem it a lot. So everything's looking a little big and crazy, but that's part of it. So you got to trust the process, and I'm very excited to see how it's going to look. I do have to take a break now because I'm going to get to studying for my next exam that I have tomorrow, but after that I will go back and work on the elastic waistband and then hem the bottom of the pants. I hem them a lot. I think I hem them like 15 or 16 centimeters, but it looks really good, and that's around the amount that the pattern suggests, so I am happy about that. And I'll officially have my first pair of pants from this pink fabric. I think it's gonna look so good. I'm very excited to see what it'll look like with the elastic waistband because it very much brings it kind of all together. So let's take a break, and I'll see you guys when I start working on the elastic. So in order to do the elastic, the first thing that I'm going to do is measure out my waist so that I cut it appropriately. Then I'm going to sew around the elastic and just sew it closed, one on top of the next. After that, I'm going to be marking exactly where the half is and then fold it over again, and I'm going to mark where the quarter is. This will show me exactly where to place it around my pants, and that'll be very helpful a little bit later on. Now we're going to be pinning those pink marks in place and stretching it in order to fit around the waistband. This will help so that I will know how to pull the elastic, as you can see, so that it'll fit properly around my waist. Next, what I'm going to be doing is sewing the top part of the elastic waistband. So as I'm sewing, I'm pulling out the material so that the elastic is completely straight, so that my fabric is completely straight, and then I sew the line. Afterwards, when I let go, as you can see, it'll bunch up back together, which is exactly the effect that we want from an elastic waistband. Okay. Here is where we're at. So I did the double folded elastic waistband. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I wonder if just maybe this elastic, the width of it is a little too wide for me, because my waist is all the way in here and this is all the way out here. And it's not just that it's like big on me, which maybe it is a little bit, but it just feels really bulky, and maybe that kind of makes it look a little weird. I'm not sure. I still have to hem the bottom of the pants, but not nearly as much as I thought. I think maybe in the previous pants I didn't do a double folded elastic and I just folded it over once, and that's why I needed to shorten so much on the hem, because now it's not that long at all. I think I need to take it in just a tad on the bottom, and other than that it's basically done. I do think that it's really cute. I wonder what I could wear it with, what would look good, and I just think maybe for the other pants that I'll make, I will cut the width of the elastic in half so that it'll be kind of narrower, and maybe that'll sit better on my waist just because of my body type. Maybe that'll look a little bit better because especially on camera it's looking a little bit boxy. But let's finish the hem and then we can figure out what I want to do and how I want to do the other pants. But yay, it's looking very cute. Okay, so I put the pants to the side for a little bit. I wanted to think about what I wanted to do with the elastic, because the pants themselves look really good. They're perfectly fine. It's just the elastic that's kind of bugging me. It's way too wide for my waist and it just makes everything look kind of weird. And I do think that I double folded here where I did it in the other ones, which makes the crotch also much higher up. So I think everything's looking just a little bit weird. Very fixable though, and I want to share this part of the journey with you guys as well. If you're sewing or starting to sew, I'm not a professional, and it's okay to have trial and error, and I'm very happy about that because then I get to learn. So that's very good. It can be a little sad to have to undo the work that you did, but sewing, unlike knitting, goes by so quickly that it's very easy to just undo it and then redo it again 1 second later. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to take apart the elastic in order to cut it. So my elastic is 5 centimeters wide, and I think that that is just way too much. I also want to look at some standard pants that I have from other places to see how wide the elastic is to kind of get a better idea. But I think I'm going to cut it by about half, just so it also makes sense so that I can use it again for another pair of pants, and also make it a little bit smaller. I always tend to err on making things on the bigger side because I hate when clothes are too tight or too small. It really bugs me. So I always tend to buy clothes a size bigger or make clothes a size bigger. So I do think that I need to make it a little bit smaller as well. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to pick out all the stitches, and then I will cut into the elastic, cut around it by half, and then we can just redo everything that I did, except now I will still do the double fold down, but it'll take half as much space because it'll be half as wide, and then I think I'll have more to hem, and I think it'll just kind of balance everything out, and I'm excited to see if it works. I hope that it will. It makes sense that it will, so I hope that it turns out that way, and I'm very, very happy that I am starting with this fabric and not the fancy fabric, because I would have been really sad if I messed up the fancy fabric somehow. So I haven't messed it up, I can fix it and everything's okay, but I feel more comfortable messing up with this fabric than with the fancy fabric. So let's go undo what I did part of the way, and then we can redo it. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so I have officially finished making my second pair of Pomona pants, these antique pink ones, and I'm so happy with the way that they turned out. It was definitely a learning curve, but I'm very happy that I did it, and I'm so happy that I changed the elastic waistband width. It made all the difference, and I'm very happy with the pants the way that they are now. I do only hope that the elastic holds and that it doesn't kind of become flimsy over time. That may happen, and then I'll just replace the elastic with a new one if I have to, which is so fun with making your own clothes, is that if something doesn't work or if you want to change it, you always can because you already have all the tools that you need to fix it. So that is very fun, and I'm so happy to bring you guys along with me. I am going to be ending off the video here because it's already quite long and we had quite a process together in making these pants. So I'm going to be making this a series, so stay tuned for the next episode of our summer sewing series, where we'll be making more Pomona pants. They're going to be shorts, and I'm going to be making maybe a dress and some top, and I'm very excited about the rest of my sewing series because we're leaving for Italy in less than 2 weeks, and I am determined to have a lot of new clothes in my wardrobe and a lot of cute summery outfits that are perfect for northern Italy. So I'm very excited for that. So be sure to stay tuned for next week's video when I continue working on my sewing series, as well as the next few videos, which one of them is going to be an Italy vlog, which is going to be so fun, and hopefully my mom will also want to be filmed and we'll be fine with that because that'll be such a fun memory to have our mother-daughter trip filmed, and it'll be a memory for us for always. So I'm very excited about that. If you're not already, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!